Hello there everybody, this is Jake with the Nerds Know Best channel and welcome to the first edition of Why I Think. Now I'm going to try to make this a weekly show where I talk about why I think a certain thing will happen or could happen or might happen or, anything related to the TV or film industry, and I'm going to try to talk about as much negative and positive things as I could. But for this first edition, I've been thinking a lot about Solo, a Star Wars story. It's being released in May, and there's a lot of drama going on with this movie, and unfortunately, yes, today is going to be more of a negative one. I'm going to be discussing why I think Solo, a Star Wars story, could fail. First things first, we have the release of The Last Jedi. Came out in December of 2017. It was overall a huge box office success, but a lot of people are framing it in a different way. A lot of people are saying, wow, it was a failure, it made about $800 million less than The Force Awakens, and it is a huge disappointment by all means. Not only that, but the movie was met with very mixed reviews from fans. The Rotten Tomatoes audience score was very low compared to the critic score, which is insanely rare in this day and age to see a critic score be higher than an audience score. That's unreal and almost unheard of. With this backlash to The Last Jedi, could that transition into May, only about 4 months from now, when Solo, a Star Wars story is released? I think it's certainly possible that we could see less of a turnout for this Star Wars movie than we would 2 years ago. With that being said, it is a Star Wars movie and it will definitely make money. There's no doubt about it. But will it make as much if Last Jedi was a massive success on all accounts? My second reason for why I think Solo, a Star Wars story, could fail is because there has been no promotion for the movie. Recently, Disney unveiled their slate for the 2018 film releases, and they've pretty much included promotional images for every single movie, including a first look at Ant-Man and the Wasp, Wreck-It Ralph 2, The Incredibles 2, everything that they have coming out this year, except Solo, a Star Wars story. I found this interesting because Solo comes out before a number of these movies, and to not see any promotion for this movie yet is very alarming in my opinion. Not only that, but we also have seen trailers for various other projects being released around the time Solo is being released, like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Avengers Infinity War, The Incredibles 2. We've seen promotion for these movies so far, and to not see anything for Solo yet, it's just a bit alarming. Now, there are rumors that we'll get a trailer anytime this week. We could have one up by the time this video goes up. But regardless of when the trailer is released, it was too late, and they definitely should have been promoting this movie early January, late December, at the latest. Reason number 3 for why I think Solo, Star Wars story could fail is because of the stiff competition. We saw just a month ago, Star Wars Last Jedi was released, and we thought nothing will touch this movie. This movie will play out, be #1 for like 4 weeks. But everybody underestimated Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. I didn't think Jumanji would make a ton of money, and I don't think anybody did. But it did. It made a huge amount of money. Not more than Last Jedi at all, but it made enough to dethrone it after 2 weeks. And it's definitely eating away at The Last Jedi's box office. The Last Jedi dropped 68% in its second weekend. And off of a $220 million opening weekend, that's not really that bad. But to see Jumanji really come to play in a way that nobody expected, it makes Solo look that much more vulnerable because Solo is being released in the summer movie season where stiff competition lies all around it. You have Avengers Infinity War. You have Deadpool 2 being released the week before, which was just recently moved. You have Solo. Then you have The Incredibles 2 and Jurassic World only weeks later. That is very concerning, and it doesn't give Solo any room to breathe because it's sandwiched in between these 4 mega movies, and it will definitely take a hit in the long run when it comes to the legs of the box office, in my opinion. My fourth reason for why Solo, a Star Wars story could fail is all the drama behind the scenes. It's been publicly stated time and time again that Phil Lord and Chris Miller were fired from this movie, and Ron Howard was announced as the replacement director to sort of clean up the mess that they made. There are rumors online that up to 80% of this movie was reshot. That's very bad. That's very bad. Rogue One saw a similar situation, but I don't think it ever got as bad as Solo did. Now, this also calls into question the higher powers up at Lucasfilm. Could they have really just made a huge mistake with this movie, greenlighting it in the first place? My question to the Solo producers are, if you noticed that Phil Lord and Chris Miller were making a comedy movie when you didn't want that, and they were making Han Solo a Ace Ventura type of character, why didn't you say anything upon early meetings? You should have known the vision that they had before they were hired. You see Marvel do this all the time. They make sure everybody's on the same page, and when they're not on the same page, they get rid of the directors before they're even making the movie, which we saw with Edgar Wright for Ant-Man. They weren't on the same page, so Edgar Wright was left off of the project. Why didn't Solo follow in the same footsteps, and instead now probably has a insanely huge budget that they probably may not, it may be a monumental task to make the money back when it's a Star Wars movie that probably costs up to like $400 million. We saw a similar situation recently with Justice League. There were different circumstances there, obviously, with Zack Snyder's daughter tragically committing suicide, and Joss Whedon was brought in to sort of make the movie and finish the movie, and we saw in the budget was $300 million, and that movie was already pretty much almost done. Solo was 2 weeks away from wrapping production when they were fired, and then up to 80% potentially was reshot. Now, these could all be rumors, they could all be completely not true, but it does call into question maybe this movie was a bad idea in the first place, which leads me right into my final point. My last reason for why Solo: A Star Wars Story could fail is, did any of us want this in the first place? When we first heard about this deal with Disney and Lucasfilm, we thought, oh, we finally get to see a new trilogy. This is so exciting. And then we heard about these spin-off movies taking place in between each of these new trilogy movies. And already the internet was abuzz with, oh, we're going to get a Boba Fett movie, we're going to get an Obi-Wan movie, we're going to get a Yoda movie, all kinds of crazy stuff. And then we got Rogue One, and that was a huge success. It made $1 billion. It was an overall successful movie. And then Last Jedi comes out, and everybody's kind of already fatigued with Star Wars, in a way. You already see everybody saying, yeah, this isn't really eventful anymore. You don't really see anybody lining up the way they did for Force Awakens. Sure, the theater's always going to be packed, but it wasn't that exciting event feel. And now, with only 5 months in between The Last Jedi and Solo, could it be too soon for another Star Wars movie? Yeah, I think so. I'm still going to see it, of course, but a lot of fans have been online saying, this isn't my Han Solo. I don't think Alden Ehrenreich will do a great job. I'm not gonna see it. I don't care. And there was also a lot of rumors. Maybe this movie won't do too well on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe this movie won't make a lot of money. And until we see a trailer, it's going to sit in that danger zone until we see a trailer, because that trailer is everything. We need to know how this movie looks. We need to know how Alden Ehrenreich is going to approach his Han Solo. And we need to know how Gambino's going to do as Lando Calrissian. I like The Last Jedi a lot, but a lot of people don't. They don't like what they did with the Force. That's fine. This movie probably won't even feature the Force, so maybe we could see an old school feel Star Wars movie and get back to the basics and sort of just see Han Solo be a scoundrel. That's what everybody wants. So those were my 5 reasons why I think Solo: A Star Wars Story could potentially fail. Keep in mind, I'm not ragging on this movie. I'm very excited to see it. It's my number 3 most anticipated movie of the year. I'm looking forward to this movie as much as anybody else. I'm just presenting the facts as I see them. I think there is reason to be concerned for this movie. What do you guys think? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Do you like this weekly segment? Be sure to let me know what other topics you want to see covered in the weeks to come. And do you think I should keep doing this sort of segment, this kind of open discussion to see whether a movie will succeed, fail, a TV show should end, continue? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time, and goodbye.